Hello, hello, hello. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stamping Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Tonight I'm going to be showcasing this gorgeous card, and I'll wait till a few people come on so that you can actually see the card. So I'll have a little chat. As for those that read my newsletters, you know that I've lost a tooth right at the front and I've got to let it heal, all the bone heal before I can replace it. So you're not going to see me very often on lives until that happens, but that's okay. Now, the other thing is I've got so much news, and I will also just tell you a little bit about me. I do online classes. I do in-person classes. I also have a blog, a YouTube channel, and also obviously a Facebook page, probably if you're watching this. This video will be available also on replay. So welcome to all those who are watching on replay. Now, what other news do I have? I have so much. It's one of those really busy times in the Stamping Up year. But one of the special offers I've got currently going is mystery boxes. So some of my retired products, some of my favourite products actually, well, they're the ones that I thought were the absolute gems out of the catalogue. Some of them haven't even been used. I know, I try. And so they're all, I'm putting together mystery boxes, and for $70, and if you need it shipped, that'll be additional. But for $70, you're going to get at least one stamp set, a bundle, probably some embossing folders, definitely some ribbon, definitely some and designer series paper. Just trying to think what goes in there. Some embellishments. Oh, look, it's always such fun to open it up, and it's a mystery, and that's part of the actual fun. Now, I think I've got a problem here. It's not going to Facebook. It's only available on YouTube at the moment. Let's just see if I can fix that. Now we're right. So changes. And we should be going through. So, hi everybody. Just in case you missed me, because I'm running, well, I'm not really running late, but Facebook didn't automatically stream, so I had to add it. So if you can see and hear me, please leave a comment just to let me know that you can see and hear me. I have given a little bit of a introduction, but in case you missed it, my name is Anne Lewis. I'm an independent Stamping Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. I do online classes, I do in-person classes. I think I do lots of things, but I also have a YouTube channel, a Facebook business page, and also a blog. So it always has lots of information on it. Now, tonight I'm going to be making this card, and I'll give a couple of secs for those who are on Facebook to tune in. Now, I did start previously, so if you're watching on YouTube, you'll get this straight twice. This year I am doing mystery boxes. So I'm putting together these gorgeous black mystery boxes, and they're going to be containing at least one stamp and die or punch bundle. There's going to be some stamp sets in addition to that, probably. Maybe even some singular punches, embossing folders, embellishments, just Stamping Up goodies. Now, some of it is brand new. but they are all my favorites. That's why I have them. I've actually ordered them in particular. Now, let me know if you can see and hear me, because I can see. Oh, hi, Glenda. Had a little bit of a hiccup. Facebook didn't go straight through. So sorry about that. I had to reconnect it. This is the card we're going to be making. I'm just talking about my mystery boxes. Now, all the details for my mystery boxes are on my Facebook page, and they're also on my latest newsletter. So subscribe to my mailing list if you would like to do that. You can do that from my blog, which is annspaperworks, or one word, .com.au. Now, what else is happening? This Friday, I'm doing my Facebook Live with Christine, a joint one, and I'm going to be using the Wildflower, I don't know what the name of it is. It's on the front of the catalogue. I'm going to be using this set. I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to do that. Still in the process of designing the projects. But I spent the other night, when I should have been sleeping, designing what I was going to do with this in my head. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, because when you actually go to put it into reality, it's a little harder. Now, tonight I'm going to be, I've got this card, which I have made out of the Floral Delight Suite. I'm using basically only the designer series paper. It is so gorgeous. And I've got to say, so many of you have thought it's gorgeous as well. So that is why I used it again. But I'm going to change it up. So I want to show you how versatile this card actually is. And I'm going to be using the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. Now, it's been around for a little while. I just want to show you how gorgeous it is. Now, I've used so much of it. Most of it has actually been gone. But you can see how pretty this paper is. Now, I've left the blues and the pinks. All the other colours have gone. But I'll keep working on that. And that is one of those card packs that I think I'll be using it all up. Good. Hello, Gail. How are you? And hi, Glenda. The two Glendas are here, so thank you very much for your support. Now, I'll show you this card. Oh, I've still got some other things to tell you. Just in case you have ever thought about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I did do a Facebook Live, and it's also available on replay on YouTube, but answering all those questions about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Now, I teamed up with Christine, my crafting partner in crime, I say, or partner in craft, and we answered everybody's questions. So if you are interested in that, you can find it under the live section on YouTube, or also on Facebook. Now, let's have a look at this card, because I think it's pretty neat. Now, it's not one of those cards you're going to whip up 100 of. It's one of those cards that you work at and build and make it look absolutely stunning. So here we go. So I'm taking off the belly band, and you don't necessarily have to put a belly band on it, but I actually liked having the belly band. So now I'm going to open this up. Now this card, you can see how gorgeous it is. Now this card is actually called either a Winged Gatefold, there's your gatefold, or a Double Accordion. There's my accordion and the double, because you see it can open and shut either way, gatefold card. So it comes by two names, and I wanted to let you know that just in case you were searching for it on my blog. So I'm going to put this up on a blog post. Now, I will also be posting the measurements. Now, I didn't get time to actually put this on as a slide, but I'll actually post this on both on my blog and also in the description for this and also the description for the YouTube. So how gorgeous is this paper? Now, it's got a lot of layers, so I've got to say it's full of gorgeousness, and that gorgeousness does mean that it won't go for standard postage in Australia, and probably not too many places around the world. Now, I don't know whether you knew this trick, but how do I know this? Now, this is not really accurate, but it really gives a good idea. Is you've got this cutting, hoping that you can see this. Wait a minute. Cutting that the blades slide up and down. If you can fit that through there, you know it's okay. Now, I also have, and I should have checked this beforehand. I'll just go and grab it. And you'll see how close this is. Now, this is the official for Australia. What can go as a standard small letter, or a slightly bigger one. Now, as you see, it's not going to fit through. So it is going to cost more, but it's a perfect one if you're giving it to somebody, or you can drop it in their letterbox. Wait a minute, I'll just get this out of the way. Otherwise, it'll get in the way. So there's a little trick for you. I think I just moved this. You should see I've got a few shadows. I don't really know what's happened. I think one of my lights has failed, and I didn't realise that till tonight. So it's a bit of a nuisance, but it is a carry on. Now, I've still got a couple of things to tell you. I've got the charity day for Meals on Wheels, so I'm still collecting cards so that we can share them with Meals on Wheels recipients, basically right around Australia, but ours will be going to Queensland. And also I've got two events on the 8th, Saturday the 8th, Sunday the 9th of March. And for $14, come along, make 5 cards that you write in, and they'll be heading off to Meals on Wheels. Now, the ones that we did for Christmas were so appreciated, and what everybody wrote inside was amazing. Now, if anyone's interested in making cards, they can't come to the event, send me a message. I'll send the instructions to you. I've got a little bit of asthma. Now, Glenda's asked, where did I get the letter gauge from? The post office for free. Now, I have to say, they don't throw them around. You just have to say you need it, and go, I am really, really desperate, and then up they pop. Anyway, the other thing is I've got my exclusive creative technique class all-day event on Sunday the 23rd of February. I still have a couple of vacancies for that. This is one of the cards we're going to be making. So you can see we're doing stepped up projects, and we're also doing a 3D project. And there's another bit of news is if you're been watching Celebration, we have released 14 new products that are available for free, and they are amazing. We've got an alphabet, the gorgeous, I can't think of the name of it, alpha die set. And you see me use it a fair bit. I meant to bring a couple of, oh, here we go. I do use it a fair bit. Here's something sitting right on top of my desk. So this alphabet set here is a freebie at the moment with a $100 order. Now, alphabet sets I use so much, not only for card making, but also for scrapbooking. Ideo, that's the... Oh, I am struggling with a bit of asthma, so I'm really sorry about that. Ideo, let's go. Now, I did a template up for you. Now, this is the card base. So I'm hoping that I know there's a shadow there. Such a nuisance. I wonder if I do put this other light on, which is not working, whether it's going to make any difference at all. As you see, it's not making much difference at all. But anyway, it's 9 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches down. Now you cut these tabs just so you get an idea of how this comes together. And there's my scoring measurements. Now remember, I'll have this in a formal document attached later. You're going to be scoring at 5/8 of an inch, 2 5/8 of an inch. I'm hoping you can see this now. So there's the scoring. Now this is the card base. This is the actual card base. And then when I open this up, you'll see it's got what I'm calling the winged card base, because it creates these little wings. And this piece is 10 1/16, and I'll show you where that is on the trimmer, by 3 3/4. And it's scored at 2 inches and 4 inches at both ends. So you're going to score, spin it around, score. So it's a really simple design. It does take a little bit to put all these little pieces together, but it is such a fun one. And it's one of those you sit down and do for enjoyment. As I said, it's not one you speed through. And sometimes, as you know, I've been doing some simple card designs. Thought it was time to actually step it up. So let's do this. Now I've changed up the colours and I'm using Pretty Peacock because I've changed up my designer series paper. Hopefully I've got 4 of these. I do. So this is how the piece looks, and I'm going to grab my, let's make a little bit of space here. I'm going to grab my trimmer so I can do this scoring with you, and you'll see how I actually do it. I'm going to put this card away just for the moment, out of the way. You know what happens, I'll lose everything. So I score 5/8 going here. Let's get the cutter out of the way. So 5/8. Then I just turn this around. And the reason I put it on this side, so I've got all this card to line up the top to get it nice and straight. This is one of the cards that the more accurate you are with your scoring, the better it is, and the squarer the card is. 2 5/8. So I'll slide this over. Now I have done centimetres on one of the measurements that I put together, 6 5/8. So for that, I've got to open this up. 6 5/8. So it's on the left here. Next one is 8 5/8. Rightio. So then I'll show you how this looks. So it's going to look. So I'm going to fold these in. Now, who works in inches? Or do you work in centimetres? Or can you only work in inches? Or can you only work in centimetres, or both? Leave a comment so that I know, because I never know what my watches actually work in. So I've got this in, so you can see now the base of the gatefold. So that's what they call the gatefold. So these little tabs I've turned in. All right. So I've got my Thoughtful Journey designer series paper, and I did have these cut out so that they match. But you know what happens there, don't you? Doesn't always. You shift them which way. I think that works, and that'll work on the front. I think that'll do. So I'm going to grab. Just going to use the multi-purpose adhesive because it gives me, let's get rid of those, a little bit the wiggle room. Now I'll give you these measurements in a second. I don't want to overwhelm you with measurements, but remember I'm going to be giving you a hard copy, which will make it a little easier so you don't have to write them all down now. There we go. So I always put the centre one in and then work past them. Now, you wouldn't, oh no, here they are. I was going to say, so these pieces, this piece here is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, and these two, and I've got 4 of these because remember I'm going to close this up and these are going to go on the front as well. Which I might like those on the front, I think I might like those better. Now I've confused them all, but anyway, yeah, I think I'll put these on the front. And so these are 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. So prefer inches, only work in inches. That's why you watch me, because you know I really only do work in inches and I design in inches. But then I have to convert it. I always worry when I have to convert it whether it's going to work out as well. Now, to put these front pieces on, all I'm going to do, you see I've opened up one side and then I can line it up with that centerpiece. So I get that really not those really, I'm supposed to be getting those really nice lines. That didn't work. As you know, I can't ever line things up because I'm not over the top of them. That should work. And then this one as well. So this will have a totally different vibe to the Floral Delight one. And I just wanted to show you how you could use whatever paper you have. How you can resist the Floral Delight, I'm not sure. But I know. So there we go. Then we're going to open this up. I mean, they're two totally different Designer Series papers. Oops, I haven't got anything near the edge here. Now I've got way too much near the edge. Let's straighten this up a little bit. So what does everybody else work in? Let's go. It's really quite simple once you know how to do it. It's not, it looks like it has to be really accurate. It just has to be close. I think that's right. So there's the base. So if I show you the original card, that's this piece here. Right. Now I'm then going to do what we call the wing card base. Now where's my wing card base pieces? I think I've glued some of these together just to save a bit of time. So that's this one. So now we have 5 little panels here. So I'm just going to, remember I scored these at 2 inches and 4 inches at either end. I haven't got this right, but we'll fix it. We'll go back and put this the right way. Now, so there's my centerpiece. That's my center panel. And these come up as mountains. So centerpiece down, these pop up as a mountain fold, not a valley fold. So this will pop up like this. So that will stick down, and then these pieces will stick up like that. So now you have an idea how this is going to come together. But before we do that, I'm going to adhere my little panels to make it look fancy. And I'll go through the measurements in a second. As I said, it's not a difficult piece. It's not a difficult project at all. Now, in both of these cards, even though they look completely different, what I have done is put a plain piece near the center. I just found it a little busy having busy patterns all the way along. So I like the idea of making it a little more simple. So this one is all from the Thoughtful Journey. Yeah. Now this one I'm going to stamp. Now I particularly picked the stamp that I was going to use. You see it's a little narrow one, so I went to my Wild Ferns, which is the whole reason I bought this. Wishing you well today, tomorrow, and every day after, every day that follows. So this is going to be a best wishes one. It can be a lot of different, that interpretation can be a lot of different ones. So I'm going to grab my Pretty Peacock, which I just stuck my thumb in, stamp this up. Now I haven't tried this, I'll just try it on my grid paper. Ooh, that font is gorgeous. Now, I hate it when I've got asthma. Right. So let's just stamp this. I think I inked that up. Stamp it on straight. I don't know. How gorgeous is that? You can see. So I'll add this to this layer, and then I'll go through what the measurements are, just so you get an idea. Oops. This is where that multi-purpose glue is so good because it gives you that wiggle room. I'm going to close this off. And then I'm just going to add these panels, the little homes that I scored before. Now, because of the number of layers in this, at no stage did I add any extra dimension. Otherwise, it was even going to get thicker. But you can get to choose how you actually do this. Oops. Now the sizes of these, and I'll just show you. So I've done, where is a pokey tool? Here's a pokey tool. So I've done my cardstock, which is the basic white in this example. In the first one, I did it in Mossy Meadow. I've done the scoring at either end, and I've cut 5 panels of the Pretty Peacock at 1 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm just going to show you that. And then I've cut 4 panels. Now I did in 2 different versions of Designer Series. 1 5/8 by 3 3/8. As you see, I do have centimeters here, but I haven't checked them yet, so I'm not going to be reading them out. I want to work from right to left to get these all lined up nice and neat. Normally I work from the center out, as you know, but I didn't tonight. All those 5/16. I've got to show you where did I cut this at 10 and was this my 10 1/16? And I'll show you where to find that. Now I have a couple of blog posts on this. My blog has been a little ignored lately, but this is going back a couple of years. Now, this is, if you are having trouble, Glenda, this is the best rule. Oops, where are we? This is the best ruler. It's called an easy to read ruler. And it actually, and I'll have to give it a little while to focus here. I'm looking for my poker tools. Here it is. It actually gives them all to you. And I'm not sure you can see that. It'll focus in a second, I hope. It's not liking that. But it actually says 6, the 16th bar, 6 and 1/16, 6 and 1/8, 6 and 3/6, whoops, sorry, 6 and 3/16, 5/16. So all your 16ths are actually included in this ruler. They've actually written it on there, so it makes it so easy to find it. Now, if you're using, and I'll come back to using the paper trimmer, it has 16ths on it as well. And I'll just show you where the 16ths are, because I don't use them very often. And you only needed that because gatefold cards, if you've ever made them, to get them to close perfectly like that is a bit of an art. Right? See how that closes perfectly? That 1/16, what's really happened is we've taken 1/16 off to make it close like that. So that's the reason why it's an unusual measurement. Otherwise, I keep 2 1/8 always. Every now and then, you've got to change it up. Oops, turn this around. How pretty is this paper? Been one of my favourite pieces. Been around for a while. So remember, that's going to stick down like that, and then these are going to go up. Now I'm going to make sure that's nicely, that glue is stuck. I know. So here's my card. Oh, it's looking, I love it, love it, love it. I know. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to straighten all this up. Now, before I move on, I want to show you where you find your 16ths on here. Now, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. The shadow is not helping me. But when you say, just say, get to the inch mark, the first one to the left of that on the inch line, so that's down here at the bottom, not the centimetres up there, the very first one is 1/16. So next one's 1/8, 3/16, 1/4. This all tells you that. So off Amazon, love, love, love it. I have done this. So use this ruler all the time. I've also got a little one that I bought. Now I have to say, this one was actually cheaper than this one. I think this one comes from the States. It's exactly the same, but it's handy. It's actually handy to have 2 of them. So what now happens is I'm going to just this center panel, so the one with the sentiment on it, I'm going to adhere it, stick it down using my multi-purpose glue again, and all it has to do is sit in the center. Now, there's 1,000 ways I can do this, and the easiest way is kind of use my grid paper. So 4.5. So I'm going to slide this back. So this is the center, right? So I've kind of got that. And I am going to wing it, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with winging it, because when I measure stuff, I don't think it's as straight as when I try and get it straight by my eye, because I have a pretty good eye. Now, by doing it this way, so I've got it nice and lined up here, so I just make that side and that side level, and I know I'm fine. So I'm going to turn this over. I'm happy with it, it's in the center. Just going to grab some adhesive. And I'm just putting, well, the idea was I was only putting adhesive on the center panel. All right, now I don't want this to move because remember I've got it nice and straight. Of course it then moved. That's okay. So I'm just going to straighten it up on my grid paper. If you don't have grid paper, graph paper works just as well. I'm making sure this sits straight. I'll line it up, get it straight on my grid paper, and there we go. So remember, I've only got it on that center panel, so these will stick up and go over like that. Now, this is, well, it's not really magic. It's so easy. You think it's going to be difficult. So, oh, that pencil's is not very sharp. So I'm going to draw a line across there and a line across there. So that's just on that little tab fold that I've cut it. I've drawn a line. Tab fold there, tab fold there. Now, so I'm going to get these out of the way. They will fold in like that. So I've got a line there, line there, line there. Now, I'm just going to grab my scissors. This is how easy this is. Now that's my line there, but I want to cut it down just below so it doesn't show on that mini card, on the winged card base. So I'm cutting on this side of both lines and then up across the fold. Now, who's used to making boxes? Because really, the technique to get this nice and straight is just using, so you can see how it now looks like this. Got to go back and let you know what those measurements are. But remember, you're going to have them on a PDF or something. I have to work out the best way to upload it. So the size of these little tabs is not important as long as they're smaller than this, so you can't see them. So that's going to roll over and that's going to roll over. So this is how you want it to look. Right, so you can see, but you want it nice and square. So this is a secret way, as always, of getting this nice and square. Now the way I did this is I didn't want this one to move at all. So I'm using my tear and tape. There we go. Same on this side. I always get nervous at this stage, but it's not difficult. It's really quite easy, especially with this tip. I know. So all you have to do is stick this flat, and then that will sit. It just magically fits in the right spot. So how good is that? So let's just do one at a time. Oops. All right, so I'm just turning the tab inside. So from there, inside, make sure it's not going the other way around. Turning the tab inside, sorry, and then sticking this nice and square. All right. Same on this side. Now I could use lots of I could use Seal Plus, could have used the multi-purpose glue, but you know it's going to take a couple of seconds to dry, and I didn't want that to happen. So again, I'm keeping this nice and flat here, and then putting that there. Hopefully I've got all these up the right way, and look how easy that was to get those wings in the right place. So it's like making a box. It's no different to making a box. And that's now. So what happens is you can fold this in this way, this in that way. Hi, Myrtle. Now, so you can get that really pretty picture on the front, and you do get, no matter how you fold, it's not going to make a difference. You get a slight double edge down here. I'm hoping you can just see that. So for me, I wanted a belly band, and I want it to be nice and tight. So the belly band is perfect for that. So I grabbed, to be honest, you can make your belly band 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches. I made mine 1 inch because there was a piece sitting on my desk. And I design so often with whatever is sitting on my desk. I'm going to grab some of my tear and tape again because I want it to be really secure. Now, all I ever do, there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but I just gently fold this over. I don't want it too tight because I want it to be able to slide on and off really easy. Oh, what I didn't tell you is I've embossed this. I know it's a little hard to see, but it's a sneak peek with a new embossing folder. See how super big this is. So I only had to run it through once, and it left a little bit unembossed, but that piece will be the piece that I put underneath. Now, the belly band is 10 1/8 inches, so 10 1/8 inches long by 1 inch. Now, as I said, you can make it as wide or whatever you've got. Back to this embossing folder. See how most of it actually fits in. Huge embossing folder. So this is 8 1/2 inches. I think it's 8 1/2 inches. Let's get that ruler. Yep, 8 1/2 inches by 6 inches. So really useful size. And this is in the, I'm just trying to think, what does it come in? I've now forgotten whether it's an online exclusive. I think it's an online exclusive. I have to check. But all you have to do, it's called the Plaster Painting 3D Embossing Folder. So all you have to do is search for that in my online store. So let's close this up. As I said, it can go either way. And I'm going to gently fold this over, leaving lots of room. All right, so it's going to go like that. Let's just make sure it slides. Yep, it slides nicely up and down. I'm going to add some tape here. Now it says tear and tape, but sometimes for me with my fingers, it's easier to do this. Now, I didn't say that I was actually inspired this card by one that Debbie McGee did quite a few years ago, to be honest. As I said, it's made a bit of a comeback. Don't want it too tight. I just want it nice and even. So there we go. Then I'm going to add another layer because I feel that this neatens it up. Really simple. Now, wait a minute. I do have to give you some measurements. These, where are we? The panels, these, well, actually, I'm not even going to go through that, but I will say this panel here is 4 1/8 by 2 3/4. The basic white is 3 7/8 by 2 1/2, and the designer series paper is 3 3/4 inches by 2 3/8. So let's glue this together. Again, I'm just using my multi-purpose glue. Then I've got a really quick tip. Move that. Love this paper. And they all do match, even though I sometimes think they're not going to, because I didn't actually trial this beforehand. I did the Floral Delight one. Then I'm going to stick that on. You can see how much tidier that makes it. Now I'm going to take this off because I want this nice and centered. So let's use my grid paper. I'm going to use tear and tape again. Doesn't have to be, because this is heavily embossed. Now, I said in my description that you're not going to need a cut and emboss machine or a big shot or whatever you have. Now, you could just leave this belly band plain. Not real good at leaving things plain. if you've been watching me for a while. So here we go. Now, if you've got tear and tape, especially in hot weather, and it's not peeling really easy, just use your bone folder to burnish it down and see how much easier it comes off. Right. Now I want to make sure this is in the center. So center up and down, and I'm still gonna oops, that's very sticky. I'm having a bit of a guess here. So it's got to come over a smidgen. Well, it is a bit sticky. So let's have a go at this. Oh no, so there we go. Now I can add this on. Because it's nice and loose, it's going to go on really easy. It doesn't have to be tight, but it does have to hold it in place. So you can see how neat and tidy that now has made it. And let's pull out my favourite. Is it my favourite product? I think it might be. Now I can stamp, and I've got lots of stamps, and I've got a lot of sentiment stamps. But I love these, which are in the mini catalogue. These are sentiments, and I spoke about them, I think, last Facebook Live. And it was about, you don't have, well, you may not be like me that has every sentiment that you need, but even I don't have every sentiment that you need. So they've pre-printed these. You get 6, I think you get 6 sheets. Yeah, 6 sheets. I love the black. Absolutely love the black. But they've got like St. Paddy's Day, Happy Birthday, Sweet Baby. Some of those I don't have stamps for. So these are on this, tucked away here on page 13 of the mini catalogue, and they're called Greetings for All. They're only $12.25. And you get the 6 sheets. I love them. And they make this card, like this card, you know, spent a bit of time on it. Oh, I had a choice. Both best wishes came out. So there's the black. You're going to pick which one you like, or the white. Which do you like? Let me know. Leave a comment. Righto. I'm waiting for your answer. If not, I'm going to just have to go. I think I'm going to go black. If I don't hear. Well, let's see what you've got, what ideas you've got. Righto. I'm going to go black. I'm not going to pop it up because remember, this is already super, super thick. Righto. Let's stick this on. There we go. Rightio. So that's it. So it did take, so that probably took about 40 minutes from when I started. And I'll just put these out of the way. Rightio. I'm glad you all went black because it's now too late, isn't it? And I'll pull this card out. Where's my card? The other one. Rightio. So as you see, just folds in, and now you know how to easily make this card. As I said, it looks hard. This is the hardest bit, just getting that on. Rightio, so here we go. So we've got 2 completely different designs here. We've got the Thoughtful Journey, and you can see it came up, I think it came up really nice. I like this one. As you see, it will sit on your mantelpiece like that. So which one do you like? Or do you like both or none? this is not a card you'd make. I'm not sure. I loved making it. And as you see, I didn't, other than the measurements, and I provide those, it's a simple card, and there's such easy tips that make this card easy to make. But imagine receiving this one. It's a wow card. And it's nice to give a wow card every now and then. As I said, you don't want to be making a lot of them, but you do want to make an occasional wow card because they're so much fun to make. Now, don't forget my mystery boxes, joint live this Friday with Christine at 10 a.m. The joint live that I did answering all the questions about being a demonstrator from a couple of weeks ago. It's available on replay. Charity Day on the 8th and the 9th of March. The exclusive creative technique class on the 23rd of this month, all day. Still a couple of vacancies there. And don't forget the brand new celebration freebies that were just released with every qualifying order. So lots and lots of news. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'll think of something. And look forward, because this will be one of the projects we're going to make, so I can walk it through with you on the exclusive creative class. Don't forget, there's a 3D project, which is the main project. But I'm going to do some fancy folds, and I've got a whole lot of things planned, so stay tuned. Thanks, everybody. And Glenda says she'd love either one of these, and I agree. I think they are the wow card. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Really appreciate your support. If you have been watching, but you've been very quiet, leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know whether you work in inches or centimetres, because I mainly do my measurements in inches, but I want to make sure that if you need centimetres, I actually provide them as well whenever possible. Thanks, everybody. Love you all dearly. Kiko's been very good today, Miss Glenda. So bye, everybody. See you next week. See you on Friday. Then I'll see you next week. And don't forget, thanks for watching us on replay if that's how you're watching it.